Okay, so I would like to introduce to you, please, Mayor Bill White. He formed HHA in 2005 with Betty Trapp Chapman, and we've been going ever since then. Our other founders were Dr. Bill Keller and Ms. Pam Young. And his focus was on creating a common forum for educating Houstonians about the city's history. The reality is that you go into any popular restaurant in Houston on a Friday night, 95 to 98% of the people who are in that restaurant have not been here longer than 5 years. They have no idea that Houston existed before they got here. They arrived with the history of where they came from, not where they're going to. So his idea was to find a way in order to get that history out. Ladies and gentlemen, former Mayor Bill White.
Thank y'all. What a nice introduction, and I really thank y'all for attending this program and being part of the institutional memory of our community, a memory that'll be more full. I looked at the program and, oh my goodness, I wish I had seen the program a little earlier because, well, somebody's recording something. There's two of them that I just do not want to miss. And look, here's the truth. This morning and every morning of our lives is just sort of a thin line between history and hope. History for each of us individually is a matter of the memories, of the training. We're a combination of our experience. Understanding that experience for an individual gives context, and context is necessary for wisdom. For most of us, we have within our families some, you get together with relatives and, our brain sort of preserves the memories within our own lives. For communities, it requires a little bit more to preserve those memories. Maybe we don't have all the holiday celebrations on which people share old stories, but we need more of that. We need more of it for the same reason that individuals do, to provide a context, to get a sense of trajectory, to allow us to understand what's possible, to be inspired, and at times to learn from others' mistakes. The Houston History Association is a vehicle for preserving that history, and we're very lucky within this community because our history is relatively fresh. History is not just something that occurred 150 years ago. It can occur 50 years ago, and history is being made all the time. Preserving that, recognizing the important inflection points is important for us all. I thank my longtime good friend Bill Monroe and the whole team at the University of Houston for their support of this project. I'll share anecdotally, some of y'all may know I wrote a history book because I think it's important that people write down for the benefit of others a sense of context. Too often we get soundbite politics in this country and people who oversimplify because they're counting on people not being familiar with the full nuance and history that gives a background to various political, social issues. I'm about to leave. I have to leave because there is an unveiling of a portrait of a mentor of mine, Beulah Shepard, who was a maid who in River Oaks, who then became a huge political power when she organized her neighborhood, Acres Home, for the first time to vote. History is being made every single day. Thank you very much for all the presenters, and thanks particularly for the staff and board of the Houston History Association for keeping this dream alive.
Thank you all. Thanks very much. It's my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the university, and I appreciate that shout out from Bill White. There really has been a change. I overheard an alum in the hallway. I'm not sure if the person's in the room right now, but I think he was in a state of shock, hadn't been to the university in a couple of 3 decades, I think, and could not believe the changes. I think probably a lot of you may be here for the first time in a little while. We're just very, very proud to be at the University of Houston at this particular moment. And I'm happy to be invited. I was pleased when Debbie Harwell invited me, and pleased to bring greetings. I've had the privilege of being Dean of the Honors College since January of 2009. Barack and I were inaugurated on the same day. Now, you may have missed the little tidbit about me in the local news, but like Marty Malosi and Joe Pratt, I've been at the University of Houston for about 30 years, and I'm also a native Houstonian. So I'm especially pleased that the Honors College could play a small part in hosting this conference. So in the last 6 years or so, Honors has been working with the Center for Public History, with Marty and with Joe and with Debbie, to take education beyond the classroom and beyond the campus. We want to bring the university to the community and, like today, the community to the university. We want to introduce Houston to Houston, if you will. It's a wedding of town and gown that we see and celebrate with this Houston History Alliance and this conference on Houston in the 1860s. Now, we have the Center for Public History, and we're working on a Center for University Engagement, what we call the CUE. And the idea is that we are going to engage the university with the world beyond the hedgerows. We have just started this project, and we will be in conversation with CPH and many other entities around the university on and off campus to try to build an alliance of interested parties and interested offices. The first small thing that we've done, we're calling the Grand Challenges Forum. Now, we've always done great books in the Honors College. Now our slogan is Great Books and Grand Challenges, because we want to take the things that are learned in the classroom and create a mechanism for bringing the gown and the town together and making the university a resource for the community and the community a resource for the university. There are lots of grand challenges out there, and the idea of the ivory tower as a model for a college or university, I think that's dead. I think we need to come up with some new models, and this kind of a conference on campus today is exactly a step that we need to be taking. So it's my pleasure to represent the university, to welcome you, and to say thanks for the opportunity for the Honors College to be a small help in making On the Cusp a reality. Thanks very much.
Welcome this morning, and I want to thank Dean Bill Monroe for being such a gracious host, Carolyn Meanley from the library for allowing us to use this space. This is much to all of our advantage to have such grand facilities, and our relationship with the Honors College goes well beyond this day, and we're very happy about that. The Center for Public History just celebrated its 30th anniversary last year. I was the original director, and you can tell that maybe 1860 is closer to my age than today. It is kind of a wide-ranging center, as these often are at the university, often kind of impenetrable in terms of understanding what we do. We do a wide range of things. We've had a lecture series, a distinguished lecture series all these years, where we've funded events and speakers across campus in every college in the university. We've now exceeded maybe 350 different events that we help to directly support or partially support. We're very, very proud of that and continue to do that. Our initial mission was to run the Masters in Public History program, which also incorporates a minor for the PhD and the MA, and we've continually strived to bring public history courses into the undergraduate curriculum. That is, to find ways of teaching students about the methods and ways of working beyond the university, taking historical training beyond. And so our commitment to that kind of education dovetails very closely with some of our other missions. We've been engaged in trying to help incubate other organizations. The Gulf Coast Food Project is housed under us, and they're doing wonderful things to look at society through the lens of one aspect of our culture that's very, very important. We also have an international dimension. We've been active in training students in the areas of energy and environment. We've held conferences in Munich, in Mexico City, and in the U.S. Deal with many of the issues related to historical and contemporary issues related to energy and environment. And at the very core of what we do is now the Wellcome Wilson Houston History Collaborative, which brings together the Houston History Magazine, the Houston Oral History Project, and the Houston History Archive. All of these devoted to the history of Houston and this region, a commitment we've made from the very beginning, and again, we see as the kind of the heartbeat of what we do. Now, with the association and affiliation with the Houston History Alliance, this makes that relationship even more complete. I think it's something that mutually benefits both groups. We're thrilled to have a office facility that houses them in the CPH offices, which are in McElhaney building close to here. And beyond that, it is the potential of that relationship, what it does to help spread the word about the importance of local history, to work together and to work independently toward that goal. And in many ways, I couldn't be happier with that. So this is a manifestation of the work that the Houston History Alliance has been doing. It's great to see so many people here, and please enjoy the day. Thank you.